So I'm going to be continuing on with my Zack Snyder Justice League three-figure collection from Mezco that included The Flash, Batman, and Superman. And so this time we have the Ben Affleck Batman. It's the Zack Snyder one, but the Zack Snyder one is basically the theatrical Batman, so I don't know that there's anything special about this one. I don't know that I'm not sure that Mezco ever made a Justice League Batman other than this one, which is the tactical suit Batman. I know they made a Batman for Batman versus Superman, but that was before I started collecting Mezco figures. I saw a video review talking about just the tactical suit Batman, talking about how stupid he looked with sunglasses on. I think it looks really cool. I really enjoy this figure, so one of my favorite figures. I have way too many Batman figures. So not only do I have a ton of Batman figures, I have 2 Ben Affleck Batman figures. So there's Ben Affleck from Zack Snyder's Justice League, and there's more than a few differences. Ben Affleck has a thick frame, but not particularly broad shoulders, and so someone in one of the comments had mentioned how it would be cool if they did a year one Batman with a more slender physique. The thickness of Batman in there is kind of the defining feature, and it's just because Ben Affleck is a beefy guy. Now here is what one might consider to be a year one Batman, but I don't know if you can tell. It's the same body. I'm almost positive it's the same body. If it's different, it's only subtle. I think that what Mezco is doing, and I'm not necessarily complaining, but they're using the same body for every Batman, regardless of what point in his career. And this was a 3-part set showing the 3 sections of his career: the beginning, the middle, and then probably like the Frank Miller Dark Knight version, which was shown to be much thicker. But all the bodies were the same, and I'm willing to bet the body here that underlies the suit is the same. And so you're kind of losing the what makes the Ben Affleck Batman unique is just the thickness of Batman, because they just reuse the same body, and I'm sure it's obviously for cost-cutting purposes. So you can kind of see in here the torso. The torso is rather long, and here it's much shorter. So, again, this is part of the issue of repurposing an existing body, is that it's going to lose some of the authenticity. These black lines in here, they are in the suit. You can kind of see that, but they are much more prominent here. And I think one of the issues is that the suit... Now, this is really difficult because Zack Snyder filmed this so dark. The whole film is so dark. So you could see the suit looks considerably darker here than here, but it's hard to say what the actual suit looks like that the actor wore, because he's using tints, he's using, all sorts of things to make everything look dark. So what I can say is I don't think these black lines on here help the figure. They don't help the figure look like the Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, one of the changes on here from either of these 2 other Batman figures, this was the first one. It's a very soft cape. This one is a slightly heavier cape, and this one is an even heavier cape, and it's got wiring. The other 2 don't have wiring. I think the heavier cape is an improvement. I think that was a good idea to go with the heavier cape. So Batman came with some accessories, batarangs, and a few, but this triple pack which was $260 on Big Bad Toy Store, did not have a lot of accessories for each one of the figures. What we do get is we get 2 alternate faces. And this was the one that actually came attached first. So does that look like Ben Affleck? Now, what I will tell you is that from my experience, I have never seen a 1/12 scale figure with a facial sculpt that compared to the high-end 1/6 scales. Generally not even close. Some of the 1/6 scales can look eerily like the actor or actress. I could recognize that as Ben Affleck, but I don't think it's perfect. The eyes look a little asymmetrical, although maybe that's the way he looks in real life. I don't know. So I think this is a very nice figure. It's very similar to a lot of the other Batman figures I have. So going forward, I'm definitely going to put more thought into purchasing a future Batman, because I'm just not that into Batman. Mezco has made, I don't know, probably 20 Batman figures. And I even have one that's on the way, which is Batman by Gaslight, which was from a comic book series which I never read. Now, the Bat logo on here, if you look in the, these, for whatever reason, these 3 new figures, they don't stand great. Their ankles are not the best. If you look at the Bat logo on there, it looks like it's either printed on or it's very thin. This has some definite thickness to it, and I'm not sure that was the best decision. I feel like maybe they should have printed it on the costume instead of having it as a separate piece that attached to it. I didn't do anything with the joints because, well, the legs were, I don't know, I guess they're fine. I felt like maybe they were a little loose, but I don't think so. I think I'm just being overly critical. So there is the back. So anyway, that is the Ben Affleck Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League.